why do you think, this direct to consumer approach is really critical for Medicare Advantage plans today?
hmm Yeah, so that's a great question. And so, in order to answer that question, we have to kind of think through like the distribution channels
Mm,
of like how Medicare is sold. And
yeah.
typically, the main sources, the distribution channel is the broker channel, and then the
Mm,
telesales channel,
hmm
and then the employed sales are what we call the field sales, and then there is
hmm
online, right? Now, the broker channel is obviously the most expensive channel. So when you kind
By
of
far.
mentioned about by far, right?
hmm
So when you kind of mention the long-term value of a
hmm
member, the broker channel long-term value is going to be shorter because smaller, just because of like the cost of acquisition through a broker channel.
hmm
But what we are seeing in the market is that brokers are driving a huge part of like sales, right?
hmm
And you typically run across like around 70% to
Yeah.
75, sometimes 80% of your distribution is coming through the broker channel.
Mm.
But here is the interesting trend which we are seeing. Here is the baby boomers, or kind of the younger older adults who are kind of in the range of 65 to 75-ish, more like 65 to 70 per se. Their kind of behavior is changing, and what I mean by
Mm.
that is the previous behavior was, well, yes, Medicare is complex, I cannot find information,
hmm
so let me talk to somebody to make sure
Yeah.
I make a choice around which plan to go with. Now, the trend which has happened, which is not so much of a healthcare trend, I think is more like the analogous industry trend, which is
hmm
people like Amazons of the world and some of like the
hmm
other consumer facing of the world. What they have done is they have simplified the process of
mm
like research and making decisions,
Mm.
and what it has activated, what I call the identity and agency of an older adult, which is,
Mm.
hey, look, I'm 65 years old. I have lived 65 years of my prime life.
Yeah.
I'm really good at what I do, and I'm a lot more wiser right now.
Yeah.
And the part of the identity comes in, which is, hey, maybe I should be making my own decisions by looking at it. And
Mm.
so the previous kind of trend of health plans was like send them a lot of direct mail, which is still a prevalent, right?
Yeah.
But what they
Expensive too.
did, and expensive too, right?
Expensive.
So as the older adults have a lot more become digitally savvy, and they have figured out like how to search things online and compare, what has happened is that the health plans have started promoting content on their
Mm.
websites and other places to help them make good decisions.
Yeah.
And as a result, all the older adults are kind of moving to the online channels where they
Oh
want to
wow.
kind of research on their own. So, for example, I went to one of the older adults' house, and what they do is they basically look at different plans and they create an Excel spreadsheet,
No,
right?
that's so awesome.
That is so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not a 5 line Excel spreadsheet, Jen. It's like 25, 30 lines of Excel spreadsheet, which
What?
literally lays down all the key benefits and basically has columns for scan and the other competitors
Wow.
and compares it. Now, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of like
It's
consumerism.
incredible.
That's the beauty of like consumer research. That's the beauty of the identity. And so what we are seeing is that through Medicare.gov, as well as the online channels, whether it's like the health plans enrollment tool or
Mm.
not, people are getting more familiar with how to look for products and how to compare products, how to think about
Wow.
the products in their own kind of life segment and be able to
Mm.
make choices. And so the trend which we're seeing is that there is a higher increase in online enrollment through Medicare.gov or through online tool. And right now, roughly it's at national average around 7%. And
Wow.
SCAN strongly believes in it that hey, we need to provide all the tools to our consumers and our Medicare shoppers in the channel they prefer, in the way they prefer.